Bro, bureau, you are not going to believe the level of absolute. Picture this. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing, it's pitch black, and you're sitting in the cab of a 53-foot semi-truck loaded with $50,000 worth of milk, eggs, and bread. You've been driving since the middle of the night because, hey, that's the life of a commercial hauler. You finally back this massive beast into a loading dock, perfectly centered, ready to drop the goods and go get a coffee. And then, out walks a manager who looks like she hasn't slept since the 90s or tasted joy in a decade, and she tells you, with a straight face, that you have to leave. Not because the store is closed, not because the dock is broken, but because your tire is 4 inches, too close to a yellow line. I swear I am not making this up. What happened next is a masterclass in how to use a bureaucrat's own rules to Let's get into it. So, let me introduce you to our hero, the no-no fist. For the sake of the story, we're gonna call him the road warrior. This man is a professional. He's got his CDL, he knows his DOT regulations front to back, and he's one of those guys who can back a 53-foot trailer into a space tinier than your first apartment without breaking a sweat. He works for a major food distribution company in the US, which means he's the guy responsible for making sure that when you go to the store at 8 a.m. to buy milk, it's a thankless job, high pressure, and everything runs on a razor-thin schedule. Now, meet our antagonist. We're gonna call her the Safety Tsar. She was a floor manager at this massive big box retail chain. You know the ones? The kind of store that's the size of a small zip code. She's the kind of person who lives for the clipboard. She's got the lanyard tightened just a little too much, and she clearly thinks her manager badge gives her the power of a small-town judge. It was February 22nd, 2019, around 4 a.m. The road warrior pulls into the back of this massive store. He's got 26 pallets of essentials. We're talking the high turnover stuff, the stuff people literally riot over if it's not there. He does the usual dance, swings the cab around, lines up the trailer, and glides it back into the loading dock. It's a clean landing. He sets the brakes, and hops out to get his paperwork signed so the lumpers, the guys who unload the truck, can get to work. But the Safety Tsar is already there, standing on the dock with her arms crossed, looking at the truck like it's a crime scene. The road warrior walks up, all smiles, trying to be professional. Got a full load for you guys. She doesn't even look at the paperwork. She points at the passenger side wheels of the trailer. Now, at any normal loading dock, there's a yellow safety bollard or a painted line. It's there to guide you. Our guy is parked, he's straight, he's in the dock. But you're violating safety protocol. I'm not letting my team touch this truck. The road warrior is confused. Like, legitimately think he's dreaming because it's 4 a.m. confused. He walks over to look. He's maybe 4 inches away from the yellow bollard. The truck isn't touching it. It's not over the line. It's just near it. He says, "Ma'am, it's fine. The dock plates will bridge the gap. The seal is tight. We're good to go." But oh no. The Safety Tsar has found a hill to die on, and she's already building her fortress. She starts going off about corporate safety standards and clearance requirements. She tells him he's incompetent and that if he can't park a truck properly, he shouldn't have a license. Bro, the audacity. This guy drives thousands of miles a week, and she's talking to him like he's a teenager in a driver's ed simulator. He keeps his cool. He says, "Okay, look, I'll pull forward and reset. Give me 2 minutes." He hops back in the cab, pulls forward and backs in again. This time he leaves a bit more space. He gets out. "How's that?" She looks at it, scoffs, and says, "Now you're too far. You're making it dangerous for the unloaders. Are you even trying?" At this point, but our guy, he realizes what's happening. He's dealing with a power tripper who thinks she can treat drivers like second-class citizens. He tries one more time to be reasonable. "Look, tell me exactly where you want it and I'll put it there." She looks him up and down and says, I don't have time to teach you your job. You failed twice. I am officially refusing this delivery. Get this truck off my property before I call your company and have you fired for being a safety hazard. Now, here is where it gets good. See, the Safety Tsar thought she was winning. She thought she was showing him who's boss. She had no idea she had just handed the road war. You see, in the world of logistics, there are these things called DOT hours of service regulations. They are the law of the land. A driver can only be on the road for a certain number of hours before they are legally required to stop and rest for 10 hours. It's a hard limit. No exceptions. No, just one more trip. If the wheels move when you're out of hours, the Department of Transportation will descend on you like a ton of bricks. The road warrior nods. He says, "So, just to be clear, you are officially refusing to sign for this delivery, and you want me to leave the premises immediately?" She smirks, feeling all-powerful. "That's exactly what I'm saying. Move it. Copy that," he says. He hops in the truck and calls his dispatcher. Now, dispatchers are usually stressed out people, but they hate one thing more than anything else: stores refusing deliveries for no reason. Our guy explains the situation. "Hey, store 404 is refusing the entire load." The manager says I'm a safety hazard because I was 4 inches too close to a bollard. She told me to kick rocks and get off the property. The dispatcher, who knows the road warrior is one of their best drivers, is silent for a second. Then he says, "Wait, the milk, the bread, the eggs, everything?" "Yep," the road warrior says. "Refused it all. Told me to leave." The dispatcher sighs. "Fine. If they don't want it, they don't get it. Bring it back to the warehouse. We'll figure it out later." Now remember, the warehouse is almost 2 hours away. By the time the road warrior drives back there, gets the paperwork processed for the refusal, and finishes his shift, he is going to be out of hours. He'll be legally forbidden from driving another inch until he gets his mandatory reset. As he pulls out of the lot, he sees the Safety Tsar watching him from the loading dock, looking all smug like she just saved the world from a 4-inch margin of error. He just waves and drives into the sunrise. Fast forward to about 10:30 a.m. Imagine you're a suburban mom or a busy dad. You walk into this big box store to get the basics for the week. You get to the dairy aisle, and it is a ghost town. No milk, not even the weird organic stuff nobody likes. You go to the bread aisle. This is what we call just-in-time inventory. Stores don't keep backups anymore. If the morning truck doesn't unload, the store runs out of food by lunch. The customers are starting to complain. The cashiers are confused. And suddenly, the district manager, the guy who oversees 10 of these stores, sales for this location have plummeted. He calls the store. "Hey, why are our numbers in the toilet today?" The Safety Tsar probably tried to make up some excuse about logistics issues, but the district manager isn't an idiot. He calls, "My store is empty." The distribution manager, the road, and this guy has the receipts. "Oh, you mean the 50,000? Yeah, your store manager refused it. Said our driver was incompetent and a safety hazard because of a 4-inch gap. So, according to protocol, we ordered the driver to return the load to the hub." The district manager is losing his mind. "Well, I'll personally make sure he has the whole dock to himself." And here comes the juicy, beautiful, delicious payoff. The distribution manager says, I'll pay for the extra fuel. Just get the food here." It's not about the fuel. That driver is now on his mandatory DOT rest period. He's been on the clock since midnight. Because your manager made him drive all the way back here with a full load, he ran out of hours. Legally, he can't touch that steering wheel for another 10 hours. And every other driver we have is already on their own assigned routes. We literally don't have a single person or a single truck available to help you until tomorrow morning. Think about the sheer scale of the disaster for a second. This store didn't just lose a few sales. They lost a whole day of perishables. Milk expires. Bread gets stale. But more importantly, Customers who find empty shelves go to the competitor down the street. We're talking a potential loss of tens of thousands, maybe even $100,000 in revenue and future business, all because of 4 inches and one woman's ego. The district manager evidently went nuclear. He drove down to the store himself. When he walked in and saw the empty shelves, and then heard the full story of why the truck was sent away, the Safety Tsar found herself in a meeting that reportedly, she tried to double down. She tried to say she was prioritizing safety. The district manager allegedly looked at her and said, "There is a yellow steel bollard there specifically to be hit if the driver is too close. The truck didn't hit it. You cost us $50,000 in inventory because you wanted to play parking police." The road warrior got to spend his day off sleeping in, knowing he'd followed every rule to the letter. He got paid for the drive there, he got paid for the drive back, and he got a nice long break while the store scrambled to explain to thousands of angry people why there were no eggs for their Sunday breakfast. By the time he went back for his next delivery a few days later, things were different. There was a new face at the loading dock. Let's just say the Safety Tsar had been reassigned or demoted so far down the food chain she wasn't allowed near a clipboard ever again. The new manager greeted him with a stack of signed papers and basically offered him a red carpet to the dock. And the best part? It turns out, when the boss's boss sees the bank account bleeding out, he doesn't really care how close the tire is to the yellow line. So, let this be a lesson to all the power trippers out there. Before you try to flex on someone just trying to do their job, make sure you aren't standing in the way of a $50,000 disaster that you can't stop. Because the only thing more powerful than a manager with a lanyard is a truck driver with a legal reason to go home and take a nap. So what do you think? Did our hero handle this perfectly? Or should he have tried? Personally, I think that 10-hour nap was the sweetest victory of all. Drop your verdict in the comments. And if you want more stories of beautiful bureaucratic justice, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you